for an adult audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised.
Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Hey, everybody, it's Loveline. I'm Adam, that's Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Dr. Drew, board-certified physician, addiction medicine specialist. Tomorrow night, Jenny McCarthy, and the following night, Alanis Morissette. It is Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah, and then a big week next week, too. Look at that.
Yeah, Bad Religion. I'll tell you something about that Bad Religion. A, good group. B, been around for probably 20-plus years. C, smartest group.
Mm-hmm.
And nicest group.
Yep.
If you got trapped on an island with a group...
That'd be the one. It would not be Pennywise.
They build you a fire. No, it'd be nothing but just... It'd be cornholing for the first 2 days, and then it would get ugly. And then you'd be eaten by Fletcher.
Right.
It'd be physical abuse, probably some sexual abuse.
And then cannibalism.
And then cannibalism,
yeah,
ultimately.
Right.
You'd actually... Here would be a good thing. You just go, please eat me the first day.
Yeah.
So I don't have... Otherwise, it's going to be 6-8 days of torture, and then I get eaten. And by the way, better for you. Because my body's going to be emaciated and bruised by the time you get to it.
More energy there.
Yes. So, Bad Religion, Nicole Richie, and Randy Jackson, who's coming off of American Idol, of course, and many, many, many others. No guests tonight, and it's a good thing because I'm back. I got things to talk about.
And tonight we may actually even take calls if we don't have a guest.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I got to do, just 40 or 50 minutes on Europe. Went to Italy. Went there with Jimmy and my wife and Sarah Silverman and cousin Sal and a nice group of people, good group of people. Had a great time. Here's the whole thing. Whenever I travel, I'm always reminded of what we could do just a little bit better in this country. You know, that's how I am. I feel like in this country, I feel like it's like we're a car company. Mm-hmm. And there are always things we could learn from our competitors. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I feel when I tour around, if I go to another country, I feel like I'm touring the factory of one of my competitors. And there's certain things you see where you go, yeah, we do that just a little bit better. But then there's a whole S-load of stuff you go, wow. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if our car had one of those.
Yeah.
And the thing is it's not copywritten. It's not patented. There's no reason why
we just go ahead and use it.
Just go ahead and use it. You find something that works, just go ahead and use it. And it's that way from electrical switches to laws, to just about everything. It ranges from almost nothing to huge. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for instance, in England, I was talking about this last time I was there, out on the sidewalk, I reckon, and I work over at Jimmy Kimmel Live, which is right in the middle of Hollywood, and I park in the back and have to walk back around down an alley and across the thing and behind in this parking lot. I must step over 700 or 800 trails of urine.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you look at a urine trail, the urine is usually done in the corner of the building, but the building it's sloped away from the building.
Right.
They want the water to run away from the building and run into the thing and slide down the alley. And I end up crossing the urine line. The Maginot line, as we call it, Drew, us World War II fans. I cross that urine line probably 700-800 times a week. I actually step over trail. Now, God forbid there's a bathroom that can be used at any service station in Los Angeles.
Right,
the one at the bottom of my hill on Beechwood has had a bathroom out of order for the 8 years that I've lived there. So people take a whiz in the street. All I'm saying is you go to England. England has a sort of a strange thing. It also looks like a little bit of a pyramid shape with a couple things carved out of it. It's basically three guys can take a leak by turning their back to the world, pointing their dork inward, and taking a leak out of this thing that's sort of almost like a nose cone of a rocket, and it has like three coves spooned out of it. Mm-hmm. No big deal. You wouldn't be offended. More offended, by the way, just seeing the dried urine, smelling the dried urine, stepping over that sometimes dried urine, oftentimes wet urine.
I'm sure 300 or 400 years ago, those things were major advances.
Yeah.
You think we would have caught on?
Let's go ahead and, you see, plenty.
Well, maybe it is a backlash. Maybe it is the fact that we can't use, if there is a if a place of business has a restroom, it's not a public restroom.
Right.
And if you have a gas station, you sure as hell can't use that.
No.
So it's time to bring out public restrooms.
Just put a place where the fellas can take a squirt.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's a good idea.
And by the way, if there wasn't several million gallons of human waste being dumped out onto the streets and sidewalks every day, we wouldn't need it. But we do. And by the way, you're talking to a guy who whizzes in the sink. You're
offended.
I don't have what you call delicate sensibilities when it comes to urine.
Yeah.
But I see there's a problem.
Yeah.
It should be addressed. That's all. And our little, outhouse that is at Lollapalooza that gets up to 170 degrees inside of it until somebody backs into you and tips you over in it, not the solution. The little tripod thing. It's really the base of the whole thing, the footprint, as we like to say in the business, Drew, the urine business, the footprint of the thing's about 4 foot around, just 4 feet around. And it's just spooned out enough on 3 sides, and 3 guys can take a leak. And look, if you're offended by seeing a guy's back while he does his business, then you don't belong in this town.
I would bet that 90% of the things you observe that our car company should adopt are things that would fall under the heading of, please, sirs, allow us to behave like adults.
Yes.
Let's all behave like adults. Let's create things that allow us to behave like adults.
Drew, I could just first.
Did I ring that bell properly?
I don't know where to begin. I don't want to. First off, okay. Other countries, by the way, have a left lane, or as they call it, a passing lane.
Yes.
When they drive, they have a left lane that is used for people who want to move along at a better clip than you.
Again, and sometimes called the move your ass lane.
Yes, you use that lane to either. Here's the rules of the left lane. You either use it to go around somebody, or you move at a fast enough clip in that lane that no one can get around you or wants to go around you. That's it.
People need to get out of your way.
Yes. Not the passive-aggressive sea-sucker who's going 59, who I've been hitting with the high beams and trading bumper chrome with for the last 18 off-ramps, who, gestures up to the 55 and says, hey, buddy, I'm doing 4 miles out. I'm on a good clip here. Now, that doesn't exist. They understand. And by the way, transportation in these other cities is just that. You got to get from point A to point B, and you want to do it as fast as you can. That's all. That's the way they do it. And when it's time to get across the city or across the country, they just move it along. They go. They get on a scooter. They go. And it's amazing. You walk through, and I walked through, we went to Italy and France. I walked around France. I covered several thousand miles. I was like a poet, Drew.
Yeah, sure.
I just put my walking shoes on. I put my Walkman on, and I just stumbled through that entire town. You don't see any paint on the curbs. There's no green for 15-minute passenger loading. There's no white. There's no red. There's no yellow. There's no color painted on. How does a society survive without multicolor paint slopped all over the goddamn sidewalk? Your bumper is hanging into the red. Are you kidding me? How do they do it? I'll tell you how they do it. They find a goddamn parking space and they park. They don't even care what direction they're going. They find an opening and they fill it. And if they're blocking a driveway, they get towed. And if they're parked on the sidewalk blocking a guy's storefront, they get towed. Other than that, it's life goes on. That's it. You found an opening, you park. You want to squeeze in sideways, you squeeze in. If you're going the wrong direction, you're going the wrong direction. That's it. People park. They trust people. You got a scooter, you pull it up on a sidewalk. That's it. You can't park a motorcycle anywhere in this city. You can't park a scooter anywhere. It's nothing. It's just you need the park. It's just get raped by the parking guy who just decides, by the way, that it's 20-minute increments. You've been here 41 minutes. It rolled up into the next hour. So you'll be paying for that one, too. Yeah. It's just, we just, we got rid of every form of public transportation in this city about 50 years ago, and then the raping party began. Just, how do they make it through? I walked through Paris for 3 days. I didn't see a meter maid. I don't think they exist. I didn't see a cop running tickets.
Well, clearly that town's going to unravel then.
Oh, yeah. 500 more years max before the wheels come off that pastry truck known as France. And let me tell you something. Talk all the smack you want about the people. They enjoy their life. They're not hassled. Guy gets a scooter, cuts across town, goes in, does a little shopping, cracks a beer, walks around like an adult, sips it down, gets back on the scooter, which is parked wherever he's parked without, screwing anybody else, and goes back to his house. And they enjoy themselves. Oh, do they enjoy themselves. I drive the car like a fugitive, just looking over my shoulder. Where's the park? What's the sign say? Uh-oh, look at the sign. Oh, there's no park. Oh, when's the street cleaner coming? This is only for guys with the yellow pass. Oh, is the bumper hanging into the yellow zone? What's the yellow zone?
How about me with that crazy left turn?
Oh, please.
Guy waving me up the street to give me a ticket.
Go to some of these other countries. You come back here, you'd be outraged. It really, we look at this as the bastion of freedom. Are you kidding me? You can't do anything in this country.
You know why? We rely on laws more than any other country in the world to tell us what to do.
Pussy lawyers. Just please, every lawyer, could we just I would love to just take a giant cargo net and fill it with lawyers and publicists and just fling it into the ocean so we could get to work on my utopia. Oh, my God. All right, so I went out to lunch, and by the way, I feel like a criminal when I travel because I do all the things that I would gladly and safely do here, but of course would be wrestled to the ground and arrested. But we went to lunch. We had a group of like 10 people. Somehow a extra beer was ordered, and there's no way the ace man was going to leave the hiney at the table when everyone got up to head out to do a little window shopping. So I cracked myself a Heineken, and we hit the sidewalk. High noon, Saturday, I'm walking around enjoying a beer through the streets of Paris. For the first 4 or 5 blocks, looking over my shoulder. Using that thing where I take my hand and I cover the label, and then I put it on my hip as I walk into the store, and then I look around again to see where the cops are. They're not around. They don't care. I'm not doing anything. That's the point. It's not, the beer hasn't made me do anything. Drinking the beer is not the crime, you got to understand. Getting drunk and doing stupid things is the crime. The drinking of the beer, that's not the criminal part. That's the part we got to focus on in this country. I walked around like an adult with a beer in my hand, enjoying a little Saturday shopping. No problem.
We have decided that good guys are bad guys.
We've decided that a handful of a-holes is going to destroy this country.
For the rest of us. Yeah.
For the rest of us. Hey, can't be done. We'd love to serve you that beer in a bottle where it tastes its best, but we got to give it to you in a foam batting helmet because one a-hole chucked it on the out on the field 4 years ago, and now...
but we could get sued.
We could get sued. Yeah, well, but I don't have any criminal history. I like a beer in a bottle. Yeah, put it in the batting helmet and keep moving. That's it. Oh, by the way, it's going to be $9 because we got there's a legal bond thing we had to pay for. It's liabilities through the roof. It's going to cost you. Yeah, that's it. And by the way, another thing about Paris, especially, and Europe in general, I can't believe people aren't dropping dead left and right from secondhand smoke. They actually have the temerity to let their citizens actually smoke, like outdoors and in cafes and stuff. And people sit in restaurants and gladly smoke. And then there's a couple next to them with a couple of kids just eating away 3 feet away from the chain-smoking Parisians. I can't believe the entire city is not just keeling over. And by the way, listen, you liberal pussies, here's how we get rid of the Parisians. They all die. They should be gone. I'm checking my watch, Drew. Secondhand smoke should get these people in the next 6 to 8 months.
Yeah,
they'll be gone. We'll
walk in
that city. We'll walk the city, be like Omega Man. There'll be no one left. Everyone will be killed. Secondhand smoke, first-rate killer, Drew. First rate. They'll all be dead. Oh my God. So the smoking, the secondhand smoke, the beer, the parking, they should all be dead by now, Drew. Or do they just enjoy their lives and go about it? Very interesting. But how can they do it without the man telling them what's
Adam,
dangerous?
It's a slippery slope. Don't suggest that we go down.
Yeah.
They're going down that slippery slope.
Yeah, they're in trouble. Yeah. How do they exist without Rob Reiner telling them what's good for their kids or what's bad or what they can't do or what's going to kill them or the ACLU suing them? How do they exist? Or they just get along? They just enjoy. That's all. They go about their lives. And then here's the thing. Somebody gets out of line, and I'm guessing